All right, thank you, Jim. All right, guys, welcome back here to Farming Simulator 22 in Medicine Creek. So I was just at my neighbor Jim's house, and we were kind of just going over what we were going to plan on doing for this year's harvest season. He's got a lot of corn acres that he's got around him, and he's kind of looking for somebody to help him out and see what he can get for his crop done for this year. Been gone for a couple months, and I haven't really had time to go around and make a video. Oh man, I got weeds growing in my beans, but corn's getting tall, and back there by the railroad tracks, the grass is getting pretty tall as well. And I got a lot of weeds growing in my beans. But it is July, and we got oat harvest coming up, as well as I got to go check on our silage field right here, see how we're doing on that, see exactly when we can probably try to get that cut out of the ground, chopped up, and thrown up on our silage pad. I really want to know who leaves this yard just a mess. Everything's open. Well, a couple things are open. I got the 4455 still sitting here. Combine's not even ready for the season yet. And we got the Alice Chalmers just being the greatest long ornament of the farm going on right here. It's probably gonna give it a couple slaps for good luck, see if it's got some good treatment for me for today. But we're not gonna probably use that thing too much. We're just gonna leave it where she lies. And then I couldn't even take care of my own planter. Almost 2 months, and it's still dirty. It looks like I picked it up by the tongue and dropped it right in a pile of mud. Or it's chocolate covered. That's what's going on. But so I was thinking, so run over here real quick, and we will check out the oats, walk through them, feel them wisp across our legs. But we're sitting about belly button high with the oats, and apparently the oats need to be rolled. I thought that was something that gets done at the mill, but okay. We're sitting pretty good. Nitrogen level is perfect. pH level is bad. It is just a little bit under what we need it to be at, but we are having an expected yield rate of 80%. So to make matters even better, it is currently 940. I also have grass that needs to get cut. So I'm going to work on getting this equipment ready for right now, but first this morning, so that way this afternoon I have something to do, so I'm not just harvesting this small oat field all day. We're going to get some grass cut. All right, up next, first thing first, we got to get the 886 filled up with some diesel fuel here real quick. We got the New Holland 116 Haybine hooked up. I'm going to run over here real quick and give you guys a sneak peek at the setup we got going on as I run through the bush. And we got the 4455 hooked up against the 850 bushel Kinsey grain cart. And we got the Freightliner, or otherwise known as the Freight Shaker, hooked up to my 42-foot Mauer grain trailer. Got the drive over auger, right? Well, the drive over conveyor here to kind of simplify things a little bit, because I can't necessarily get under or get the hopper bottom up over top of this auger that we got going up to our Sioux bin. Again, I said the Alice is going to be putting in some work today, so it's going to be running the auger today as the auger tractor. Got the combine currently sitting off here waiting to get hooked up to our 25-foot head, and then of course we got the high boy over here pulling around the header trailer. And this will be our setup for the oat harvest of 2024. But first, got to get some grass cut. So we're in here, managed to get a couple rounds around this field done, and the grass is cutting really nice. I let it grow a little bit taller than what I probably should have, but we will end up getting a little bit more bales out of that than what we would have if we would have cut it like last week, 2 weeks ago. So in order to feed the expected 150 head of cattle that we're going to be getting in here, I think we should most definitely have an excess amount of hay than an under manageable amount of it, because I really do not want to go through and have to open purchase or buy hay from somebody else to save myself a little bit of money where I actually can, instead of going through and paying somebody else for hay. I think it's a little bit more easier on my pocket and just a little bit easier on me, so I don't have to go around loading up bales from somebody else, transporting them all the way over here, and then unloading them. I can just simply bale them up here in this field, load them up, take them to my farm, and then leave them where they lie. But for right now, we're just about done cutting the grass here. I will probably wait till the afternoon, go through, and I just did a 360-degree look with my head because I'm an owl, but I'm going to go through this afternoon, break up all these windrows we got going on, and we'll probably go through, get them all baled up. But I'm just giving a little time, let the oats dry out for today. I'm not in really a big hurry to get those out of the field. I am in a big hurry to get this grass done because we still need to get quite a bit of hay before we get these cattle. Can I drive through this power pole? Alright, so we are almost finished up here in this one grass field. This is the second one, and I was kind of going along thinking, doing the math in my head a little bit. And honestly, probably not going to get enough bales out of both these this year to be able to support about 150 head of cattle. So, me being me and thinking a little bit ahead, so there is a grass field that's kind of past the neighbors over there. It's up on the hill, and I think it's been abandoned for quite some time now. I've never seen anybody ever get any grass out of that, or any bales, or anything like that, or run any cattle in there. So what I might do is I could see if I can go up there, see who it belongs to, and try to get some hay out of that field, because honestly, I'm probably only getting about 10 bales out of this field, and then probably another 5, probably maybe, I don't know. I'm probably going to be getting like 10 to 12 out of here and 5 to 8 out of that other one. So it's not going to be sitting that good, especially if I got 150 head to feed and trying to get through the winter this year, because, I mean, I don't have any cattle right now, obviously, but they do have a little bit of grass in there to go feed off of. Hey, look, a train. But they got a little bit of grass that they can feed off of in there, but I really going to have to plan ahead for that, because I can't have cattle going hungry. That's going to be my second source of income. Hold on, I got to find the way out of this field real quick. Got lost looking at that train, and things were getting a little bit foggy upstairs in the old head. Wrapped up. Got to make sure that we got enough bales. I can start mowing the ditch, I guess. If it really comes down to it. I do own both sides of the road here for this ditch, so I could probably get a couple bales out of here if that's like a last minute thing that I got going on. But for right now, it's 12:02. It was 12:01, but now it's 12:02, and we're sitting at one of my favorite times of the year. So we're gonna get heading in, get everything hooked up on the combine, and we're gonna start getting some oats harvested. So the first things first, before we can get ourselves going, obviously we are missing one very important piece that is on the front of our combine. So let's get this wheel pushed down a little bit now that we're climbed up here inside the cab. Let's see, make sure everything's good. Let's see, forward. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, we're gonna get ourselves lined up here real quick. I didn't really leave myself that much room. Whatever. Alright, see if we get ourselves squared up here real quick with the header. I'm going to try not to run anything I don't need to run into real quick. And we get ourselves real nice and close. There we go. I'm going to jump down here real quick, hook up any hydraulics we got to get onto the combine, transfer it over to our header here. And I think if we are able to pick it up like so, and there we go. I think that is all she wrote. I think we got everything hooked up. All right, there we go. Everything's looking amazing right now. So honestly, 2388, I think personally beats any like 9500 John Deere combine right now. Like, it just looks so good. It's clean, it's red, it looks better. Plus, like, this amazing Legacy Series head that we got going on, and this just looks fantastic. But this is our setup for Oat Harvest 2024. I gotta get into the combine. I can't keep wasting time like this. If I get talking too long, then, I mean, next thing I know, it's gonna be like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and we haven't even got any oats harvested yet. I can't go that way. I was just trying to go in that way, and we can't do that. So we're gonna work on going over here. We're gonna cut in the field real quick. But the first things first, so I'm gonna go along right here real quick. I did make sure that we do have our straw swath enabled right now for this field. I'm going to try not to stab a tire on my pickup here real quick. But we're going to try to find a spot for our tractor and grain cart. So that way, all I got to do is kind of just roll up next to it after we get full. And then all we got to do is just come along, dump it inside of our truck here. And then it'll simply just put itself inside of the grain bin. We're probably not going to get too many oats out of this. So I'm not real worried about it, at least that bad. I mean, I would like to get more oats than what I think I would get, but for right now, I think we're just gonna be sitting probably maybe a grain cart full. I'm not too sure, but so far they're going up into the combine pretty good. We're not slugging anything up. They are going in pretty nice. They were pretty dry. I mean, I did take a couple hours to go in and get that grass all cut, so I had nothing to worry about at all. But for right now, I think we are looking good. we're just going to come along here, and I think after I get this last cut going, I think we will be sitting perfect for getting the grain cart up in here, and I think that will be where we're going to let it sit. Once I get kind of around this corner, you'll see where I put the grain cart at. But the way I was thinking, I know it is a little bit more moving parts than what would kind of make a little bit sense. I know some of y'all thinking probably just like, why don't I just drive over across the field and then just dump it into the truck? But I mean, if I'm gonna have the grain cart anyway, I might as well get my use out of it. Fuel's fuel, it all burns. But oh, actually, here, 1 second. So there we go. There's the setup right there. It's just kind of sitting there. You got the auger out, and then all I gotta do is simply just drive around. I'll probably just do a loop in here since I did make that cut a little bit big enough, and I'll just loop around, go in, dump it inside of our grain trailer, and we'll get it all loaded up inside of our grain bin. I'm really not gonna lie, I get like looking down the rows or looking down the field, and then I just start looking at the oats just coming in here on the combine and the feeder into the feeder housing, and I just it's really hypnotic. I'm just getting mesmerized just watching them go in, and where are they going? They're going right underneath me. I think it's pretty cool. But all in all, so I did end rows on the far side, came through, got 2 passes in. I'm just going to scoot off this little bit right here because I don't want this little tail. Whoever said 4 miles an hour in this header and this combine is crazy. Because first off, nah, I want to go 7, maybe 8. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I want to go 10. But for right now, we are going 4 miles an hour, and holy moly, this is going to take a long time. We get the header shut down here real quick. We're going to loop ourselves along and get the first bit of oats dumped here inside of our grain cart. So we got around 235 bushels just off that, so I think we're getting a fairly decent yield. We're obviously not going to have near enough to probably put inside of a grain bin than what I want, so we're probably just going to go ahead, straight up sell these, and go from there. I don't think it's really worth it to put them in a grain bin just to take up a whole grain bin space just for having like probably I don't even know, probably about 1,000 bushels of oats when we could fit 12,000 more bushels of something else inside those grain bins. All right, so about a quick update, about a quarter of the field done here real quick, and I'd say that right now our good average is we're bouncing somewhere in between about, I'd say 89 to 93 bushels per acre, which I think we're doing pretty good. You know, I did miss a couple spots with spraying and getting our fertilizer put in the ground, but hey, we are doing pretty good. And I will say that moving 4 miles an hour is kind of a, holy moly, that is a slow process, but it is allowing us to get a good cut on our oats here. We are just chugging right along, getting everything done. We almost got, we're about 70% of the way full. We're sitting about 203 bushels right now currently in the grain tank, and I've only gotten the one load dumped into the grain cart, so we're sitting pretty good, making pretty decent time. We've only been at this for about, I think I started around 1 o'clock if I remember right. I don't really remember, but we're making good time, going right along. Now I will say that I did hit a spot over kind of on the other side of the field where it was a little rough. I think it was just like a little bit of water that was kind of like sitting there. Didn't exactly get dried up because we did get rain probably about a week ago. So I did have a little bit of a problem going through there. But I will say for straw bales, I think we're sitting pretty good. I mean, we are going to get quite a bit of straw out of this field. I mean, I've been running the straw swath the whole entire time. Just got a random little bit kicking out the back right there. But hey, it wouldn't be a normal time farming if something random didn't happen like that. But we're going to go through after we get done with this, probably let it sit. Once we get done with getting this field completely all cut out and get the oats sent to the grain bin leg to sell, then we should be good. But we're probably going to go through, get all this all baled up, so that way we got all of our straw bales sitting around. That way, in preparation to get TMR for our cattle, and if we have to sell any later on into the year, then of course I already got them ready to go. But once I get this little patch done, we're going to dump what we have into the grain cart, and then we're going to probably finish up the rest of this field. And already the deer are out there scavenging around for what little bit of oats we kick out the back of the combine. But hey, sorry for them. We got ourselves a case, so we don't have a John Deere, so we're not losing too much out the back end of this thing. But I do have to say, I just 100% admire this setup. This thing just looks amazing. This mod is great. Just the whole setup in general is great. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I am pretty proud of this setup. I know I spent $1 million on it, but hey, we cannot cannot argue with the fact that we got a pretty good setup going on here. I mean, the truck looks good. Of course, my highboy looks good. And then we got the 4450 paired up with our 850 bushel grain cart. I mean, there is a mixed match of colors going on, but hey, it's serving a purpose and it's looking really good doing it. That's probably going to end up being our last load until we get done completely chopping out this whole field. I'm going to go through, scare these deer off real quick, probably just
Eat them up inside the combine. Get back here.
let's go. But we're going to get this field finished out.
Man, I always had stories about the city life and the crazy nights. Figure I should probably give it a try. Maybe check it out, see what it's all about. But the traffic was fast and the money was slow. The people I met you never get to know. I kinda miss this place I used to live back home. 'Cause up here it's breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5, happy with the simple life. Yeah, I ain't here to try to change your mind, trying to save your time. In case you're thinking about breaking out the bucket list, girl, you can skip this funny business. 'Cause up there it's complicated and overrated. Down here everything is understated. That's alright by me. I got everything that I need, but there is breakneck, paycheck, rat race, what's next? I'm tired of feeling like a small fish.
Alright, so this is going to end up being the last part of getting this oat harvest done, as I'm going to bring this header over here real quick behind, back where it was before. And I haven't exactly gotten everything back to where it was originally, but I mean, I also have a while before I got to use it all again, so I'm not in a real big rush. Let's see here, make sure we get the right piece selected here, get that header cart taken off. And it is about 4:11 p.m. on this beautiful July, and we're gonna get ourselves, let's see, I'm gonna run over here to the truck real quick. I'm gonna not put the grain in this grain bin. So we ended up with exactly 1,001 bushels. So, hey, pretty good. But we're gonna end up probably storing this along here real quick, and I'll probably go in, sell it at a later date. And I can't use my mirrors. Whoops. But we are probably gonna go through and get this sold at a later date. We'll get this all tarped up. We'll probably wait a couple months or so before we go in and sell it, or whenever we got to use this truck. But before it gets too late today, I do need to go in and I'm gonna start getting some of that hay baled up. I'm probably gonna rake it up first, and then we're gonna get it all baled. But we are going to keep on cooking along here, getting all this hay raked up, and I'm gonna go through probably early tomorrow morning or later tonight, get it all baled up, and then we're gonna let it sit for a little while before we end up getting this taken all out of the field. We're probably just gonna end up storing it along the fence line by the pasture, so that way all I gotta do is just grab and go with one, and then get it put into that hay feeder over there once we get cattle. But that is all into the future, and I don't have a time machine, so I really can't do that right now. But as always, guys, I really do hope that you did enjoy this video. I did have a great time going through getting oat harvest done for this year. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please don't forget to smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. As always, peace.